Hey, Mama. Today I want to share with you my rock bottom moment in my business. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is to show you the power that you have within you to change the course of your life. The reason why I'm sharing this rock bottom moment with you is to help you kind of understand and see that we've all been there. Maybe you're here, maybe you downloaded my freebie because you're looking for answers, or maybe you downloaded my freebie because you want to shift your business. Maybe you downloaded my freebie to get some clarity or to get some really good strategy. But the reason why I'm sharing this story with you today is to kind of share where I've been and what I've done in my business to move me forward. Because I think a lot of women, especially as moms, investing in our businesses can be really hard and it can be really guilt-ridden and it can make us feel like maybe we're just not doing enough. But I want to show you kind of what investing in my business has done for me. And so I'm going to share with you my rock bottom moment today. And it's not exactly something I'm super proud of. It is a very unlogical and emotion-filled story, but it was a huge turning point in my business. And it's actually the reason why I'm still here today, almost 2 years later. So my rock bottom moment was December 2015. It was like the beginning of the month, like around December 5th. And I had been working 13-hour days. I was working part-time at a gym doing personal training. And at the time, I still had my personal training business. And then the other, half of my day was spent working that business. And things were failing. They had been failing for a while. But I was too afraid to do anything about it. I was so afraid of failure because I was failing over and over and over again every month. And, every month I would set these big goals for myself, and every single month I would come short, and not just by like $100. I would come short by like thousands of dollars. And, over a couple months, that really starts to add up. And I had been able to kind of mask it and be able to kind of finagle things around, take money from other places, and figure it out every month. But December 2015, I couldn't fake it anymore. I was really, really sick. I had pneumonia and I had 2 broken ribs because I was coughing so hard. So not only was I emotionally drained, I was physically suffering and I was in a lot of pain. And when you're a personal trainer and you're doing group exercise classes in a lot of pain, it doesn't really help things to get better, right? So December 2015, I had Wednesday mornings off. And Wednesday mornings were my time to kind of do housework, go grocery shopping, do errands for my family, and kind of just get things like in order so that when we went into the weekend, it was a little bit easier. So I logged onto the bank account. I needed to pay my son's preschool tuition. It was about $300. I needed to go grocery shopping for the week. And I needed to buy a couple more Christmas presents. So I logged into the bank account and we had $15. And I had panic attacks before, but I had never had this kind of panic attack. I had a full-on debilitating panic attack. I actually thought I was going to have to call 911 because my heart was racing out of my chest. It was the moment when I had to admit my business wasn't working anymore. So after, the panic attack, I cried, had a good cry, and I finally admitted that I needed help. And I finally decided to take my future, my business's future, my family's future into my own hands. So that day I did 3 things I swore I would never do. First thing I did was I applied for food stamps. And for those non-US folks who are here, food stamps is public assistance. So they help you pay for things like your groceries. And, you never think as an adult you're ever going to have to do that. Things are never going to be so bad that public assistance is your answer. But we qualified for it, which was the worst part of the whole thing. Really quickly, we qualified for it. And so we went on public assistance for a couple months. And that was not something I was proud of. And I'm still not proud of that to this day. The second thing I did was I went to my son's preschool, which was run by the church that my husband pastors at. So everyone knows who I am there. I went and I had to ask for an extension on his tuition. And of course they gave it to me. But you know that when the pastor's wife comes and asks for an extension for her son's tuition, things aren't great. And that was a moment I really, again, am not proud of. And it was a tough moment. And I will never forget the conversation I had with the woman who I had to ask. She was delightful, of course, and very understanding. But, on my end, it was a terrible moment. And not something I'm proud of. The third thing I did, I'm super proud of. So the third thing I did was I had been following this business coach for a while. I'd probably been following her for about 6 months at this point. I had watched her raise her prices. I had watched her have these amazing launches. I had watched her develop these amazing courses. And I finally just admitted I need help. And I went online. I found a no interest credit card for 6 months. Somehow I got approved for it. No idea how it even happened. I call it divine intervention. And I charged her entire $5,000 coaching fee on a credit card. And that moment, as soon as I applied for that credit card, as soon as I invested in that program with that coach, I felt a sense of relief. I knew that I had taken my future into my hands. I knew that I was going to change the course of my family's future. I knew that this was my answer for my business. And quite honestly, it was my last ditch attempt. I said to myself and I said to my husband that if this did not work, if things did not get off the ground, I was going to go back to a 9-to-5. And that was not something I wanted to do. I felt a strong conviction to be there for my family. I didn't have a family to send them off to daycare every day. Preschool I was a big fan of because it was like 4 hours, a day, and Camden, my son, loved it. But I did not want to send him away for 8 to 10 hours a day. Not my idea of what a life I wanted to live. I wanted to be there for my family so that when life happened, I could show up for it and my business was still run on automate, and that was not what I had. Me working 13-hour days while running my business wasn't working for me, wasn't working for my family. And so going back to 9-to-5 would be basically the same thing, but my income would be really consistent. So, you get a paycheck every week, right? So it was my last ditch attempt to resuscitate my business. And so my husband and I talked about it, and this was it. And within a couple of months, probably 2 to 3, I started making consistent money because I actually finally had a plan. That business coach helped me to see the big picture. She helped me make decisions outside of fear and outside of scarcity. And she helped me to really understand that my business is a tool. My business is a tool for making an impact in the world on other women. My business is a tool to help me give in big, crazy ways. One of my really big motivators is being generous and helping people. And then my business is a tool to facilitate change in my family and to change my family's financial future. And that was really important to me because, again, security is something I really like to feel. I like to feel secure. So when things don't feel secure, it kind of sends me into a frenzy of feeling overwhelmed, feeling really anxious, and I don't like feeling that way. So she really helped me to develop a plan and a clear path for my business, and I can honestly say that it's because of that coach and that program that I'm still here today. That was almost 2 years ago. I've invested in lots of different coaches along the way, but it was that coach who really got things off the ground for me and really helped me to scale and grow my business. So, if you've been wondering, why am I downloading these freebies? Why am I trying to glean all this information from everybody? Why are things just not working for me? I want to reassure you, you are in the right place. I truly believe that things happen for a reason, and people come into your life and come out of your life for reasons. And if you've come into my life in this way, I really want to reassure you that you are in the right place. And I can't wait to get to know you a little bit better over the next couple of weeks and to share a little bit more of my story and to hear some of your stories. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be sharing with you stories about my own business, stories about the businesses of my clients, and I'll be offering up some super strategic advice on how to kickstart your business with some very actionable to-do items for you to try out in your own business. And I cannot wait to take you on this journey with me.